Hello everyone. A lot of students came to us and asked us what they could do to prepare for the interview. They said that they are very nervous and anxious when it comes to interview. So today we have Matt, a study abroad expert who has years of experience in admission process and who also conduct many interviews with students himself, and who will help us to get a better preparation for the interview. So this is my first question. What is the biggest mistake that you have seen the student made during the interview?
That's a very good question, Hian Chang. And actually, I think one of the biggest mistakes that a student can make is not preparing adequately. And so in my experience as an admissions representative, and in my experience here working with students at Công, I think there is often a misconception that you can just go into an interview and have your personality shine. Maybe people are charismatic, maybe they have a really nice smile, and those things are certainly important. But when it comes time to answer certain questions about why did you choose this school? Do you know where this school even is? And then all of a sudden, maybe they don't have all of these details, which shows, at least from an admission standpoint, a lack of interest and a lack of seriousness.
So how can they prepare for an interview? Where they can find information?
So one way that they can find information is by Công, which is an extremely helpful resource designed for students and families to find information and about their study abroad options. Another thing that I think that they can do to prepare, this is something that I always counsel my students to do, is prepare to ask the school questions. So the general thought is an interview is a one-way street, that the interview is actually the school asking me questions, when in fact it's meant to be more of a conversation. And so what I always encourage my students to do is to prepare at least 3 questions that they can ask the school when the interview time comes. These shouldn't be questions that they can easily just Google or find online. These should be questions that demonstrate an interest in the school, a particular program. So for example, a student might be interested in a computer science program. So sure, they can go online and find information on the university's computer science program. They shouldn't ask about, do you have a computer science program? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
What they should be asking is something more along the lines of, I read about your professor in the computer science program. Can you tell me about the opportunities that I might have to do research with this professor? Or what kind of hands-on experience might I get by following this particular professor's courses, or something like that? It shows a deeper understanding of the program and a deeper curiosity, something that just by showing this type of interest. And so if you're asking questions that are very easy to Google, like how many students are in this program, that's not something that's particularly interesting for the admissions rep. What is interesting is them seeing a student who actually takes time to do research on the particular program, of course on the school itself, and then asking those types of questions will show the admissions individual, the admissions representative, that they are a serious student who is interested in the program.
So it means that any student who is willing to ask questions will be given a plus in their.
That's right. Because when I used to conduct interviews with potential students, sure, I had my list of questions, but then I would always leave time at the end for the student to ask me questions. And the students that just said, nope, I have no questions. It's not a negative thing necessarily, but it shows that maybe I just wasted my time talking with them because they were just doing the interview because they had nothing better to do. But anytime a student would ask very specific questions or very, very in-depth questions about a particular aspect of the program, that's where I would make a note in their file that this person is very serious. This is a serious individual who's definitely interested in coming to the program.
So do you have a list of questions that maybe students can learn from?
Yeah, we certainly do. At Công, we have a list of all the potential interview questions that they might ask for particular programs. I counsel students on a regular basis. We go through a whole list of questions where I will ask them, I will give advice on how they can answer, how they can best present themselves to the admissions rep. And we have a whole it's not a full workshop, but we have a whole couple sessions about how we can go through these questions.
So how should they practice before the interview? Should they have another person with them to practice?
Yeah, I think practice definitely helps. If you have a friend, maybe a parent that is able to pretend to be the admissions person. And again, the best way is just being prepared, like I said, coming back to the first point. And part of that is maybe that's running practice questions with your parents or maybe a friend or your high school counselor. You could also prepare or practice by understanding why you are applying, understanding why you do certain things, because it's very easy to just say, I play sports, I play music. But what an admissions representative wants to understand is why you do these things. Why are you interested in creative writing? Why are you interested in design? Why are you interested in whatever the case might be? So it's not enough just to answer who, what, where, and how. You need to be able to answer why. And as long as you can answer why about any part of your life, then that will be certainly helpful in the interview process.
Or they can come to Du Học Thành Công and the advisor will have them practice.
That's exactly right. We could also have them come to Du Học Thành Công and have practice interviews with us as well.
Thank you, Matt, for your very helpful advice. I hope that all the students have found the solution to the interview.
One way that you can best prepare for the interviews is to like and subscribe to Du Học Thành Công right now so that you never miss another tip on interviewing or any part of the application process. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.